Hi, I'm Claire.
And I'm Heather.
And we are Masterpiece Astrology. And we're here to talk to you about Uranus and Taurus 2018. It's a special video for you, so welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, lots of change in store. It's going to be, I don't know how to even begin. We've been through 7 years of Uranus in Aries, and now Uranus enters Taurus.
Yes, Taurus likes stability, security, and things staying the same. Uranus it's very progressive, and it's a mover and a shaker, so they don't really combine well together, but over the course of the next 7 years, Taurus and Uranus are going to be really good friends. And luckily, we're going to have Mars in Aquarius 12 hours later to help Taurus out.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be such a dynamic day, because we're talking about Uranus just going into Taurus. That in itself is worthy of a video special. May 15th, which is what we're doing, is just 12 hours after Uranus goes into Taurus, Mars goes into Aquarius. Both planets are fixed, both signs are fixed signs, both planets immediately form a square to each other.
And prior to that was a new moon in Taurus, just a couple hours before.
So it's a very dynamic day. So as Uranus enters Taurus, it's changing signs under unique circumstances, in that there is so much dynamically going on. A lot of times we're talking, when these very slow-moving, distant planets change signs, sometimes we don't really notice it right away.
Right.
Because it takes a while for other planets in orbit to kind of activate Uranus. It's just Uranus is getting activated right away.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot of change really fast. We just want to give you some intel, some information to help you.
Yeah, it may feel like initially like the rug is being pulled out from under you, but it's not in a bad way, because basically Taurus has to do with our security issues and our values, our possessions, where we find our self-worth, and it likes the material world. So energy is going to ask you to find your values and your self-worth inside, rather than, or in humanitarian endeavors with the Aquarius Uranus influence,
That's a good point.
finding that security in other ways beyond just
beyond the self, beyond the small self.
Yeah, beyond just having a nice house and nice clothes.
And beyond having, because Taurus is the principle of I have. We just left Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, I am. It's just that, and it's a Mars-ruled sign. It's very aggressive and even violent, Aries. Taurus is a very placid, feminine sign. It's Venus, Earth, Venus.
Yeah, and the Sabian symbol for 0 degrees of Taurus is a clear mountain stream. Given that Uranus is a part of that, we'll find out that maybe perhaps underneath that that clear mountain stream, it's actually a geyser.
Right, it's because Uranus is that principle of change and action now. And it's entering Taurus, it's entering Earth, it's entering Mother Earth, it's entering Gaia.
Mother Earth, yes.
Uranus is in ancient Greek mythology. Uranus was the father sky god, and his wife was Gaia, Mother Earth. And so the two are coming together. Yes. We got 9 planets in Earth and Water when Uranus goes into Taurus.
Which is good. It adds stability to
It really
Uranus.
does. But we've had Kilauea exploding, and I just kind of wonder if there might be an earthquake or some kind of volcanic activity on or around May 15th. It's just so potent. When the new moon, very early Tuesday morning, is just so dark in Taurus, there's all this energy from Pluto and Mars in Capricorn, squaring that last bit of Uranus in Aries before it goes into Taurus. I just see there's quite a bit of volatility, folks.
But not a bad, stuff. But
right. And that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking like earthquake. I mean, the Earth is a big planet. It can quake somewhere. So I'm just saying that could be something we might feel and see. Although I do, in the next 7 years, speaking about earthquakes and Earth, I mean, Uranus is change, and Taurus is the sign of Earth. It's the sign of the environment. It's the sign of Mother Earth. So I expect to see a lot of revolution in environmental, the way we view the environment, natural resources. Maybe Scott Pruitt will go really soon. Now that Uranus is in Taurus, something might tip that over the...
Agriculture will change. Revolution in beauty and fashion.
Right, because it's feminine.
It's feminine, and Tauruses are always very well dressed.
They are, and there's also this idea of new values too. Because you were talking early on just about this, how the change we're going to feel is by being aware of like new values, a new sense of self. We just went through this Aries time where we kind of got the sense of maybe who we are, and now it's going to be we're going to be looking at our values, and our values congruent with our new sense of self.
Right.
So that's why it's an inevitable process of change, and I want to really help you, Taurus, fix people out there, relax a little bit. It doesn't have to be the end of the world. You may be asked to change, and it may feel uncomfortable, but it's all in service of your growth. It's okay.
There's a lot of really good manifestation ability here. So it is a lot of where you put your intention and watching your garden grow. But just know that maybe that garden may be moved up on a hill or something. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a little bit different than what you're normally used to.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of saying it. And I think it's because there is a personal revolution that's going to go on for all of us as we have new values. There's new ways we value our food, new ways we value money, new relationships to money, new ways that we spend. Big business. Taurus is the Wall Street Bull. So I would expect big revolutions in business, the male-dominated business, because again, Taurus is feminine, Uranus is this revolution. I'm really hoping to see very feminine women be okay with change and really finding again that stability and freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, so this year is a lot of big changes. This week is a lot of big changes. I wanted to just bring up that normally Mars passes through a sign in a month or so.
Yeah, and 2 months maybe.
And now this is unusual because Mars is actually going to go retrograde in Aquarius, and so is Uranus. Uranus is going to go retrograde, and they will be going retrograde. Uranus is going to go retrograde back into Aries November 7th and until March 7th. And Mars is going to go retrograde in Aquarius in August, and it'll be back in Capricorn until September 11th when it will be back in Aquarius. So we're going to be revisiting some of the past few months as well as going back to where we are now. What's interesting is that what we make right now, whatever foundation, whatever things just kind of pop up now, we're going to be doing a lot of revisiting. But we're going to come from where we've just been in a totally different way, because we've had a few months with this Uranus in Taurus and this Mars in Aquarius. We're going to come at that in a different way. And also I wanted to mention that Neptune in Pisces is the unsung hero in all of this. Works very well with Aquarius, and it works very well with Taurus because those two energies are humanitarian. It's asking for humanitarian endeavors. And Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, is going to help with compassion and opening up our intuition, our creative gifts. And so I think that'll be good.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's really the water underneath is helping us get in touch with our spiritual gifts. I think also learning detachment is an important part of accepting this new energy, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Uranus is detachment. Uranus is a sign of friendship. So I'm hoping that Taurus people will understand that Uranus really, at its highest principle, it's a spirit of friendship. It's sisterhood, it's brotherhood, it's humanitarian values. It's just that it's so conceptual, sometimes Taurus doesn't see a lot of value in the conceptual. I was just speaking to a Taurus fellow who was really fascinated with an Aquarius woman, and he was like, wow, she's really driven really into her ideals, like that's a thing for her. I'm like, it is, and yet it doesn't seem, for people really grounded in the material plane, sometimes that can seem far-fetched and
a little bit wishy-washy,
or just like it's not going to make any money or keep you settled. Why would you get involved in that?
I know, why would you do that?
And it's that's the kind of thinking, and yet there is a why and there is a reason. The reason is to break up some of these really static structures that have prevented growth. They've prevented you from growing.
The stagnation.
And another thing to also I want to keep in mind is Saturn is in Capricorn, and during the summer, Uranus and Taurus and Saturn and Capricorn are going to be in a really nice trine, and that's going to be a really nice relationship between old Saturn, old stuff, and Uranus's new structural. New Earth, old Earth.
Yeah.
So you have like Saturn and Capricorn could be like indigenous plant medicine, and Uranus could be a revolutionary way of making that available to people. As Mars in Aquarius forces us to advance a humanitarian agenda this summer, this trine underneath may help just generate The trine is an easy flow, maybe new inventions, new innovations.
Yes.
Faith in just this will be, I don't know, there'll be some excitement in the earth plane about
There'll
that.
be lots of excitement. I think I'm really looking forward to it.
I think what seems secure might not seem secure anymore, and that's another thing for Taurus to keep in mind, is that it's okay, or vice versa. What seems insecure might seem secure.
Find your freak flag and raise it.
Right.
High.
Just learn something. Whenever it feels...
Do something new.
Yeah, that's a good way to process the energy, is just to do something new. And also to allow yourself to understand that, Taurus wants change, and Taurus, Venus ruled Earth, is kind of like, make things the way they are. And that's not always, doesn't feel really comfortable. Allow yourself just to detach.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It'll be okay. Just wait a moment, it'll get better.
I think it's a really good manifestation energy, and I think that it will be really interesting to see how this all plays out globally, as well as in our own personal lives. I think being that Uranus is not challenged by anything really aggressive, I feel like it's going to add a lot of stability in different ways that we haven't had in a few months. Like you said, something about it bringing some stability to relationships with Saturn trining. It's having, Uranus is having a lot of support, so going through these changes. So, I think initially it'll be a big kind of a big shocker, but as we go along, we'll see that it's really not that bad, and it's actually going to work out in our favor. No,
and what you said is right about the relationships, because I think, when you think about Uranus relationship, the relationship Uranus wants is friendship. It's a transparent, it's a transparent relationship based on feeling good with one another, and that always involves communication. So Uranus is going to bring this to Taurus, and it's going to really help Taurus, because Taurus wants security in relationships. There's nothing Taurus wants more than that, and I think you'll find that you'll feel more secure because there'll be more communication tools available to you. As long as you're patient, you just detach a little bit.
Yep.
And then just
And all this stuff goes for basically everyone, but specifically the fixed signs, because you'll be most affected by this. So Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius are going to be the most affected by this energy, especially if you're born in the earlier parts of the sign.
Yeah. We went over those dates in our
video
video for the forecast for the week.
Yeah.
So those are just some important things to keep in mind. I think there's been a bit of doom and gloom out there. I mean,
no doom and gloom.
There's no doom and gloom, and there has been talk about the 15th being accident prone. It's really just because Mars goes into Aquarius that night, and the energy is new. It's like what we said.
It's just a lot of stimulation, and I don't know what would happen that would make just not being focused and paying attention.
Well, that's how accidents happen. Yeah, so just be aware that a lot of people, not you because you've watched the video and you're prepared.
You're prepared.
But other people may not know what's going on. The mass consciousness that we frequently speak about, they're going to be a little bit distressed by all of this change. So just pay attention, do some defensive driving, pay attention with your paring knife, you'll be fine.
Yes.
Okay?
Well,
and that's about all. Just find stability and freedom, fly your freak flag.
And get comfortable with change.
Yeah, please do, because it's heading your way, and we can't wait.
Get some acupuncture or a massage or chiropractic treatment or something like that. And also, Taurus rules the voice, the throat.
Yes.
And also, somebody said the body, the whole body.
I think so, because it's really the sign of body work.
But it's also the
throat,
vocals.
the blue is the color of the throat chakra. Yeah, I think body work and activating the body. Get your body to change.
And talking. I know Taurus doesn't. Taurus energy doesn't always like to talk.
No, they don't. Start practicing your talking.
Start practicing your communication.
All right, folks. Good luck with Uranus and Taurus. We can't wait. Yeah. We're so tired of Capricorn Aries.
I know. So
rest in peace. All right. Take it easy.
Bye.